Yeehaw, yeehaw. A very well-known big damp proofing company. I've been to this property and injected it, continue to have problems. Got the phone call. You can just look here, you can see there's a slate DPC. It's got 20 or 30 year or 10-year guarantee, I'm not too sure. It's all been re-injected everywhere. Massive issue with the drain at the front, it's already been rectified, but continued having problems. You couldn't make this up. Look at this, look, it's coming back out, coming back in. All of that water come down there. Put that lid back actually. That. It's like somebody's pulled the pin, rolled the hand grenade down and boom! What a mess. It gets worse, it gets worse. The beautiful joy of putting a hose pipe in the gutter and a block soakaway. So often you'll find these rust at the back. Might be because there's not much paint there, but you can see here, it is literally squirting out everywhere. Reminds me of a calendar in the kitchen. And it gets worse. It gets worse. And this is the floor that rotted out on here, but just watch this. Come on down. Come on down. And yep. Ramo soakaway. You can see the stone there. Soakaway. Thank you very much, Ramo. Here we go. That's the valley. That is a lot of water coming down there. Then underground. And here we have the Victorian cistern. Note the hole at the front. Normally you find when they're being rendered up, they probably were being using that to keep, obviously to keep it cleaner. So they're going to be reusing that water. I've cameraed that, it's absolutely fine. But what is really important, they normally always have a drain off. So make sure you can see that's clear. This one was all blocked up, which I had done. If you have got an older building, you might have one of these about, might be covered over with some slabs, whatever, but have a little nosy about, see where your soakaways go to, because you'll tend to find it's always going to be the soakaways that go into them. Have a look at this one here. This image shows, again, an old cistern. You can see the rainwater downpipe going off into the gully, into the cistern, a hand pump going into some sort of wash basin, and you can also see it also has a drain off, perhaps going into another soakaway or some form of drainage, I don't know. But this is typically what you used to see. I will be uploading some videos on some old cisterns where there's been defects and they've been damaged and they're saturating the building, so stay tuned for them. So this is the drone survey, and now I've just sectioned off the house in question. Now this bit, you're not going to believe this. This is what you call rocket scientist stuff. Now, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to work this out, but it's like I'm an absolute genius because nobody else ever thought of this. Bear in mind, this building has been injected twice before and it's got a perfectly great physical damp-proof course, but it is a little too high. So we've got to try and find out the root cause. We've got rising damp symptoms. Now why? Right, let's keep this very simple. So the red box, the red rectangle, that is a suspended timber floor. The rest is solid. That absolutely was suffering from timber decay. So that got all replaced when the last lot of works was done. They spent a number of £thousands. Now, where the little blue arrow is where in the video you could see a little bit of plastic gully sticking up, where the homeowner found a defective drain under the ground and they repaired it themselves. Brilliant. They weren't to know that where the two blue arrows are, they still got block soakaways. That little rectangle, blue rectangle, that is where I presume the soakaway is. So that's about 2 meters away from one part of the building. It should be 5 meters away. Now, look at those green rectangles. That is all of the roof water draining into them two soakaways. Now, come on. When you start working it all out, it's absolutely so easy to work out what is going on. You've got rising dam symptoms. We know there's a bit of an issue with the slate DPC being a bit slightly on the high side. But when you're getting very high moisture contents, adjacent soakaways and stuff like this, you start painting a picture. With the cistern, you need to watch these cisterns. What you sometimes find is you have a drain off. So it might be a bit of fire clay, a bit of salt glazed pipe. Typically, they do get damaged. So what happens is that cistern fills up water. And again, that is a big part of the roof. There's a lot of water coming off there. You can imagine. They knew that because they've got a very big downpipe as well. Big bore on there. So that cistern can easily fill up. So it needs to get that water away. What I found on the front was it was blocked up on there. Admittedly, the cistern, the water level was down. But that ground can get saturated there. So again, when it's raining really heavy, sometimes just look for ponding water because it can paint a bit of a picture. All I can say is I hope you can get something from this video. And that is you have to pay for a thorough damp investigation. I like the word investigation. Somebody turning up with a damp meter, stabbing the walls and booting the walls to see if they're damp is going to be of no value whatsoever. Dare I say, you're going to go back to the same old story, bodging it all up, having underlying issues. Eventually, stuff like this, you could get subsidence issues. It is going to really devalue the property. So pay for an investigation, get these root causes found, identified, eliminated, and you can move on with a long-lasting repair. And just to finish off, just so you can have a little looky and you'll remember this, look what they've done here. This is where they drilled through the slate damp-proof course. You couldn't make this crap up. And as always, thanks for watching and we will see you soon on the next one.